Good morning, everybody. Jim Boat, welcome back on the boat on the water. I don't know if I told you about last video, but I'm going to tell you a story. I'm on Lake Pleasant, and I went all the way to the back on the Agua Fria River. And I told you that I wasn't sure. It was supposed to be closed until June 15th, and it's May. So I got all the way back there, and there were a lot of boats back there, rental boats doing 90 miles an hour in a no wake zone, you know, all just kinds of fun stuff. And I got back all the way to the end and everything was good, and I thought, you know, I want to stay back here, but I'm thinking it's closed back there. It's supposed to be closed, and you know, you get a ticket from Fish and Game or State or whoever, you know, runs that back there. It's not really something I want. And I don't want to mess with the eagles. They closed it for eagle nesting, and apparently that they know of a nest back there, and they do physically watch the nest. Anyway, so I decided to leave, and when I left, the wind, which I didn't realize because I was going with the wind, is the wind was about 20 knots headwind coming right down the shaft, right down the valley. I was almost going backwards, and it was crazy. It was really something. And so I'm trying to get out of here, and I start worrying, and this is just me. I wasn't even sure if I'm going to tell you. If you see it, then I decided to. But when I started to leave, I was afraid I was going to run out of battery power. Now, I know all kinds of questions, and don't you have gauges and all this other stuff? Yes, I do. Ask a pilot that is trying to get his instrument rating on a plane how you trust instruments, how you're supposed to, and how in real life you don't. Anyway, so that's what happened with me. And so I thought, oh no, I'm not gonna have enough power to get out of here. I'm gonna run out of power, all this other stuff. Longer story shorter is I found it into the cove I was last night, and I got all tied up. I actually stopped here because I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it out of the place, out of the valley here. So I got in, found a really nice place, turned out really nice. Got all situated. When I was calmed down and everything was tied up, I checked my batteries and the motor batteries were at 70%. I could have gone around the lake 3 more times. 70%, I didn't even break them in, and I thought it was gonna run out. And the meter actually said that I had 70%, but it doesn't say percentage, it just has a green and yellow and red, which is not something I think I'm gonna get a chart where it says, you know, the voltage, if you have this much voltage, is this much percentage, because you know we're all trained on percentage, right? How much percentage battery power do you have on your phone, or you know, how much percent of gas if you have in your car. But anyway, and my house battery was 100%. So I went cruising for 4 hours. I used 30% of the battery, and my house battery was full, so I was wasting all that solar. Anyway, just a funny story I thought I would tell you. I'm heading back into the Agua Fria River on Lake Pleasant. They did, I guess to finish the story, after I got parked, I called Fish and Game and I got a few transfers, but I finally got a hold of a really nice person in dispatch or radio or something, I don't know. And they told me that they had just opened it up because the eagles were not successful. Now I fill in the blanks with not successful, but the bad part is they did not have any babies to protect. So they just opened up the Agua Fria, and that's why it was open and all these boats were back there, because the eagles were not successful, which is too bad. Anyway, so I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna stay back there tonight, and I'll show you where I'm going to stay. Batteries are 94% or something, and house battery is again almost full. It's late morning, I don't know what time it is. Anyway, this solar thing is really, really cool, and I'll start learning how to trust my instruments. All right, let's see what else is going on. I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go to the very end. I mean, literally as far as I can go, that my motors, my prop's not going to hit the ground. And I'm going to stop in there and actually spend a couple of days, because I've really got a lot of work to do on videos. I'm going to get the next video out, which obviously I got out because you probably have already watched it. And I've got some other stuff that I have to do. You know, I have to tell you again, Starlink is the coolest thing since sliced bread. It's just, I'm back here, I've got no cell service. I lost cell service miles back there. I called my wife, called my friends, played video games last night, blew up a bunch of tanks and stuff. It's awesome. Anyway, all right, let's see where we end up. All right, I'm at the end of the world on Lake Pleasant. This is Agua Fria River. And as you can see, there's a fisherman right there. He's trolling in there, but the water's down a lot. I even tilted my motor up, but I don't think I'm gonna go past that. The grassland. I might just drop an anchor. I don't know. I might drop an anchor right here for the night. I'm gonna check it out. All right, let's see what happens. I am anchored here. My road is a long way because I don't want to end up in there sometime during the night. The good part is that I've got many hours here. I got many hours here, and the wind is really gusting, I guess. I'm at about 10 feet where the anchor is, so I did set it, and I'm going to top off my batteries. I didn't really use anything, and I think I might stay here for a night or two. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. So I'm going to see how my anchor does. I've never slept on anchor yet, so this will be kind of interesting. I think this is really good because even if I drag an anchor, where am I going to drag it? It's not more than 20 feet here anyway, so it's just going to drag deeper into the mud, I hope. Anyway, all right, let me fire up the, oh, check this out. Look, look, look. Look over there. Stop looking at me. Look over there. Donkeys. I said donkeys right there, 2 of them. I would zoom in, but you'll have to zoom in. Hi, donkeys. You're looking at us. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of them over there. I guess this is kind of a grassland for them. Very cool. Very cool. Man, I don't know how comfortable I'm going to be here at nighttime. I just saw where it said gust to 30 miles an hour. Is that little line going to help? Hold on. I don't know. In a few hours, I might just pack up and go somewhere else here. It's really, I'm just swinging around on the pendulum, and you know, this is I guess maybe I'll just lift up my motor, so if I break loose, I don't break the only way out of here, right? Eesh, oh well, I'm gonna have lunch, and I'm charging the batteries right now, and beautiful though. Okay. Just gotta show you more stuff. So I've got my refrigerator running off of 110 volts. I've got my chargers. The battery's at 87%. I think I started this trip today at 92%, I think. They're at 87% to get all the way to back of the lake. And so here's the battery is already at, the house battery is at 85, I think. But look at this. I'm charging everything, and I'm still getting positive current. I'm still getting more solar. I'm getting more solar going into the house battery than I am with all the appliances that I have on, including my gaming computer, my research computer and stuff. It's really cool stuff. You realize everything's full and the sun's still out. It's cool. I need to go cruising some more. Look, right there. See that black thing? That's a T-bone steak, baby. He's even got a tag in his ear. The losers finders, right? Losers finders, keepers weepers, or something like that. We're having steak tonight, baby. So the wind has changed 180 degrees. It was blowing me down there at about 30 knots, and now it's coming from that direction, about 15 knots. So now I'm heading back downriver. You know, I could sit at home and be distracted by video games, YouTube videos, fill in the blanks, right? We get distracted. Or I can be out here right now being distracted by nothing. I've got so much work to do, but this is just too nice. Absolutely wonderful. So why not get distracted by nothingness? So even in the wind out in the middle of nowhere, you have friends show up in another boat. Out here fishing, they called me on my Starlink and said, "Are you out here?" Last night was quite interesting. I didn't record it, couldn't really see anything, but there were some pretty heavy winds here. I don't know, they said gust of 25. I think there were probably more than that. I'd never been on the hook before. The boat was really getting tossed, so I didn't sleep too well at all last night, but everything's fine. My anchor did not move at all. The boat just kept spinning me around, and it was kind of turning me every which way but loose. If you know, you know. Anyway, so I was kind of happy in the morning to find out that my anchor really hasn't moved, and it took all that wind. So I'm really excited about that. I might get used to this anchor thing. So yeah, this might be my spot actually, because it's 7 feet deep here. I had some friends come by on their little fishing boat, but it's 7 feet here, and it's, you know, even if the anchor drug a little bit, it's not going to go anywhere because it's only gets more shallow. So I really don't have to worry about the anchor sliding into deeper ground. And then anyway, it worked really well. It was kind of good. Now it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful Arizona weather. The wind was so bad last night. My anchor, you can see my anchor line here, but before I went to bed, I tied it off to this chair just in case something happened. The chair would get pulled up here and wake me up. Bad for me. It wasn't probably that bad. I don't know, 25 miles an hour. I'm just gonna say 25 miles an hour, but anyway, it was my first experience and it worked fine. All right, I was gonna stay here for another night. I'm in it's a donkey zone way in the back of the lake, but as you can probably hear in the camera, the wind has really picked up here, and I don't want to go through another night of not really sleeping. So I'm going to, everything is full, all my batteries are full, house battery. So I'm just going to go putter and maybe a cove or something, because I'm not much for this wind out here. You know, it probably is like this all the time. I don't really know, but I'm going to go find a cove. All right, let's get rolling. This is interesting. When I was trying to take the anchor up, of course, in the hurricane last night, the anchor dug in really well. It dug in well. Matter of fact, I couldn't get the anchor out. So what I ended up doing, and I don't know if this is proper, let me know, is I basically ran over it. So I went over the top of the anchor and went into the wind, basically just had the anchor pull it backwards and it popped out. I guess that's probably the only way you could do it, because that baby was dug in there, which is good. It held me last night. Anyway, I don't know if that's the proper way to do it, but we are doing, we're heading out of here. We're gonna go check this out right here. That's that little place right here. That should be really fine. It's all dirt, but I want to go down in here and see what it looks like down in here. It looks really, really sheltered. I really like that spot right there. Right off the main thing, there would be no way to get waves, but there's no sand there. I would have to go up on the rocks. But that looks cool. Like the monsoons will put some water in there. It's like a valley right there. It's pretty cool. However, on this side, no, maybe not. This side right here, there's dirt there, but there's also trees. So there's all the brush coming down from runoff. All right, we'll go up a little bit further and then we'll go back to that other spot. Check this out. I thought it ended right here. Looks like another little river here. See how far it goes. You know, I could almost just drop anchor right here. I just really don't understand it enough to know, you know, if I drop it here, am I going to be safe to go spinning around when the wind gets hold of me? I'm not that sure of how to do this. I'm going to go around this corner. And we're going around the corner. Wow, look at that. I don't know what the depth is. My depth finder's not working. It's the original depth finder also, and I unmounted it and I haven't mounted it back. I keep thinking I'm going to put a nicer one in there, but check this out. Check it out. So I don't really know how deep it is. This is beautiful. I can't even see the main thing. We've already gone around the bend. I'm going in, skipper. Might have to back out of here, but wow, this kind of looks really beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm a little afraid to go in there. It's absolutely beautiful. Water's starting to clear up here. I mean, how far does that go? I think I can get here. I see some dirt. You see that dirt right there? I'm gonna go for that. You know, and if I get dirt, I think what I'll do is maybe I'll put this anchor out and pull up the shore. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to cross tie, but look at this place. Man, I think I could handle the apocalypse back here. Totally sheltered. Nice little sandbar. Wow. If you had a canoe or something too, you could use this as your base and then have a runabout or something and then go fishing. I'm gonna put it right in that sand beach, my goodness. Let's try it out. Well, the bad part is the wind got me. Now I'm sideways in this place. This is kind of bad. I'm gonna have to, I'm trying to get out of here. This is crazy, but the wind got me. So I can't get there from here. And that was very unfortunate. I got in there and the wind got me and I just turned sideways and I can't get there. This just, don't think I want to try that again. It was scary. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go back to the other one, but you know, if it calms down, I might try it again. I just got in there sideways. I could probably back in there. Maybe I'll back in there. Have to look. All right, I'm gonna bail on that spot. It's a perfect spot. If there was no wind at all, I could squeeze in there, but when I missed the first approach, I didn't realize that I was getting blown sideways, so I went up to the beach and I'm coming in at a 45-degree angle. And by the time I got to the beach, I was at a pretty bad angle. So I actually put this motor, I put it in reverse more than I've ever put it in so far to get me out of that trouble spot. But it pulled me right out of that spot. I was really happy with it. I gave it a lot of gas backwards and it worked just fine, but I think I'm just gonna pass on it. There's just no reason to get in there. Maybe someday, but there's wind in there and you don't see it. You don't see it on the water, but it's out there. So I'm gonna go back to my other spot and try it out. I'm a little bummed here because it's not as warm and fuzzy as I was thinking here. It's all gravel and rocks and stuff, so there's no way I can really pull up here. So we got to keep looking. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate, you know, when you're out exploring and you're looking for a cool place. Really, the wind is just kind of the bad problem down here for me because my boat's like a parachute. On the hook seemed to work good, but it's just a little too movement for me. Not that the movement bothered me, but it just worried me that I was going to break loose and end up on shore. So I like having tied off to the shore, then I don't move. Anyway, we're going to keep going up. We're heading back into the main lake. And when I came down here, I didn't see a whole lot of places to hang out, so we'll go to the next cove over. You know, the funny part is I get in these coves today and it's so quiet, but look at the waves. The wind is blowing me into it. So when I try to get out of here, I can't. So now I got to, because the wind will just keep blowing me into, I got to turn around. Maybe right there. You know, when you're out boating, I don't know about the runabouts. Well, I do about the runabouts. When you're out boating, you go out to a lake and you find your favorite spots, right? The beach that works for the dogs, or a place you can anchor and go swimming. Houseboats are no different. You're looking for a nice spot that you can tie up and not worry about the weather, have places to hang out and relax. I found my new favorite spot. That's the entrance into, what was that river? That's the entrance into the Agua Fria River. And you came into here. This thing is right here. Totally protects me from the waves. Not so much the wind, as you can feel the wind right now, but I'm all tied off right now, so I'm not really worried about it. The waves aren't going to bother me. The winds I'm tied off, I'm not worried about that. I threw the anchor out just because it was out. I guess I could put it away, but it was out, so I used it. Got a little swimming area right here. So it's all private and it goes way in the back. So if I had a little canoe or something, I could go back there. Anyway, the wind Again, it's pretty busy, windy day. This weekend is supposed to get to 16 miles an hour with gusts to 20 something, I don't know. So I think I'm going to stay the whole weekend right here in this spot. I think it's just perfect. And yeah, it's really nice. It's beautiful, actually. The batteries, well, I'm just running my I'm running the refrigerator on 112 volts right now. I'm not even going to use gas anymore because I just have so much power. The batteries from where I left here, I use less than 10%, so they won't even charge now because they're still considered full. House battery has been full since about 11 o'clock this afternoon, or 11 o'clock this morning. The house battery was full, so it's pretty funny. It's the more I'm using this, the more I realize 2,500 watts is a lot of power, and it's working all day long. It's really cool, really cool. All right, let's see what else we're going to do, and then I'll sign off. I was anchored right there. We went into here, I almost wrecked right in here because the wind was blowing through here. I went into here, those were all rocks and pebbles. I couldn't go in here. So now we found the cove coming out of the Agua Fria River. And so we just found a nice little place. Still going into the Agua Fria, so it shouldn't be too busy in here. But there's a nice little beach right there. Can you see these big waves? A cabin cruiser just went through there, just blasting. I mean, it looks like a tsunami coming in, but that's okay because I'm protected. I mean, it's whitecaps coming through here. It's a big boat. Well, folks, this is what it's all about. I have got all the power that I need. Everything's running off of the solar. Not even using any gas at all. I've got a nice little beach here. I've got a beautiful view, absolutely beautiful. I'm sheltered from the wind, the waves. I'm gonna stay the whole weekend here and work on some things. I keep saying I'm gonna work on some things, but oh, it's really hard to work on things here. It's just very nice just to chill out. So please hit the thumbs up if you like these videos. And I think I'm gonna cut this one off right here. As usual, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you on the next video.